Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Minecraft Floating Islands. It's FalcanX here, and since last episode, I've cut down quite a few trees and farmed the wheat farm quite a few times. But, this episode's goal is village decoration. That's right, in this episode we are going to be decorating our village. It's been a while that our village has looked like a normal, any other Minecraft village, but now it's about time to make it look like a player lived in village. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so in between the previous episodes, I've been doing some minor modifications to the village, such as editing the village roads and just making the roads look better. But now we are going to focus on the village itself, as in the houses and the plants, crops, and just the overall aesthetics of the village. So what I'm thinking of beginning is the villagers' gardens. That's right. I think I should add some kind of greenery to the village, and I think I'm going to be doing more gardens so that our villagers will have plenty of food, since already in the last episode we started a wheat farm. So I'm not sure what just happened with those villagers there. But anyway, I think I'm going to be making potato gardens for our villagers with a cute little fence around it, as we have built right here. But I seem to have run out of fences, and we do need some fence gates. So let's go ahead, head over back to the house, and craft some of those. Okay, so let's check our chest, see if there's any left, and there's a sign and a chest there. We might need those later, so let's go ahead and grab those. There's also some oak planks, and we'll use these to help craft ourselves some fences and fence gates. Okay, so three oak fence gates. I think that should be good enough for now. Let's make sure we have a decent amount of fences themselves. Alright, so that should be enough for a few small, maybe a small farm for now, as we just test it out, see how it looks like. And hopefully it goes as planned and these little farms look really nice. An extra motive for making these farms is to help light up the village, because we could put torches on the corners of our little farm plots, and that will help light up the areas and prevent mobs from spawning. So let's go ahead and put this water here. That should look pretty nice, but now we got to figure out a way to cover it. I'm thinking maybe a cobblestone slab or a cobblestone stairs would work really well in covering the water, but at the same time making it look very nice as well. So let's go ahead and see if there's any cobblestone. Yes, there's 36, and there's also some staircase and a cobblestone slab, just perfectly ready for us to try out. Let's go ahead and try out a cobblestone slab and cobblestone staircase and filling up that one block space. Let's start off with the staircase, because we have a lot more of those, and ooh, I like how that looks like. It's kind of shows that it's there, but also not too exaggerated, so it should work perfectly well for our garden here. So now let's go ahead and grab our potatoes that we put in this chest over here, and let's go ahead and plant them for our villager friends. And just like so, this should let our village look a lot nicer once these crops fully grow up. Alright, so let's go ahead and eat this bread so that we can clear up some inventory space and eat some apples. Alright, so now let's start with the second villager garden, and let's make it a little bit smaller. We do want a 1 block gap from the pathway itself. So while this isn't a large villager garden, it should look pretty nice. And let's go ahead and do the same thing for the water source. Okay, staircase, fill in the dirt. Okay, so we do, I placed that wrong. We do need to get our water, some more water. Let's go ahead and fix that staircase first. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab ourselves some more water to water these crops up. Alright. There we go. Okay, so now let's hoe this ground and plant the potatoes. Fantastic. Alright, so that's the second villager farm completed. Okay, so now let's see if there's any other place we could build a farm We might include a farm on this house, but I'm thinking of making some more villager homes instead in that area, so I'm just gonna refrain from adding a farm there. But I definitely think that this tavern, well, nah, let's make a villager farm right here. Yeah, let's make a big one. So we're gonna have to fill this area up with dirt to level out the ground to build ourselves this farm. Alright, so with this fence gate we have completed the basic layout of this farm, but before we start planting the crops themselves and finding a place to water crops, I think we should attach this to the village pathway with a mini staircase. I think I'm gonna make it, yeah, let's break it one more block out, and so that we could have the oak logs placed. So I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, so now we just got to wait for the grass to grow before we can make the pathway fully there. Okay, so now before we hoe the ground within the fence gate, let's go ahead and attach the other side to the village pathways. How does this look? Maybe, yeah, let's put another pathway to the other side of the crop farm over here. And let's start it about here. Yeah, let's make it a 2-block wide path. This should look pretty nice. Alright, let's make it a bit curved. Yeah, that should be pretty cool. Now let's get some water for our crops. And then let's hoe the ground. Because if we just hoe it right away without putting in the water, then it'd be kind of pointless. Okay, so I think let's maybe right here. Maybe right here will look nice. Just like so. Yeah, okay, so now let's go ahead and get some more water. We have to make sure that the water covers all of the ground so that none of our crops will just wither away from not having enough water. Okay, so I think I'm going to move it to under the windows instead, because I don't really like how it looked when the water was placed in between the windows. Let's move the water bucket and the staircase. Remove the previous staircase and replace it with the cobblestone block. Okay, so I think that looks a lot better than what I had before. And if I hoe all this ground, theoretically, the water should be able to cover everything. Hopefully. And there we go. So let's see how far this water can reach. Oh, so already these two spots here turn back to regular dirt blocks. So I assume the water cannot reach that far. So I think we're going to have to put another water block right here. Okay, so we have to make it look nice somehow. Let's go get some more water. And I'm thinking maybe have it water fountain down, like maybe a mini waterfall. So let's make it even on both sides, and I think yes, this is where the water block needs to be placed. Okay, so now that we've marked that area, I think we should be able to create... Okay, so I don't want to just free falling down, otherwise it will hurt the villager down there, who we still need to save eventually. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to block the water from free falling all the way down with a dirt blockade. So, the water is right there, so we probably just need to build a very small holder like so. Okay, so that should hold the water and not let it spread too far out. And okay, so now let's make the top parts look a bit nicer than what it currently is. With an oak log on either side. Well, actually, let's make it an oak stairs instead of oak logs, so it blends in with the fences, and put an oak slab on top. Okay, so that looks pretty good for now. Alright, so let's check the ground and see if the water is able to reach everything. And it looks like it will be able to reach everything. None of the dirt is turning back into regular dirt. Okay, so let's go ahead and plant all of these potatoes. And I seem to have run out. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. We could have made a pathway connecting the two fence gates, but I don't think that's really necessary. Okay, so that's another garden. Alright guys, so I just realized that my roof was not as decorated as I wanted it to be. Like, right here, as you can see, it's in line with the wall, when I do want it to jut out one block a bit, like these villager roofs over here. So, let's use these stairs and these oak slabs to do so. Alright everybody, I think that the combination of the oak staircases and the oak slabs worked really well for our roof here. But I think our house could use a bit more decorations to it, because it seems to be pretty plain at the moment. And this is our house, our player-owned house, so we should definitely add something more fancy to it. And I'm thinking of maybe a cobblestone slab or a cobblestone staircase trim to the base of our house. So let's go get some cobblestone. Alright guys, so we have finally gotten ourselves some more cobblestone for us to use. So let's go ahead and create some cobblestone slabs. Let's make a lot of them to trim our house with. I think I'm going to be going with cobblestone slabs as opposed to staircases, because the roof is already quite low to the floor, and we don't want it to make it seem as if our house is non-existent. So I think that looks pretty good, but I think we could also add something even fancier to our house. First, let's go ahead and make the entranceway really fancy with some cobblestone. Okay, so that looks like a pretty good entrance. I think we should add some staircases, cobblestone staircases to either side of this doorway to frame it and make it seem more like a fancy entranceway. Like so. I think that looks pretty decent, but it's kind of chipped off. So let's go ahead and use our other two staircases to make it seem a bit more like it belongs there. There we go. I think that looks really good. Okay, so we have quite a few torches all around our house here. So I think we should make the doorway a bit more fancy with one of those lanterns that Minecraft has recently added to the game. So let's go ahead and collect some iron for us and use it in the crafting table to make some iron ingots, because I believe if you surround a torch with iron ingots, it creates a lantern. Yes, it does. Alright, so we have our lantern. Now we have to figure out how to place it. You need something for it to hang on. Can it hang from the top of the roof? It cannot. So we're going to have to figure out a way to hang this lantern. Alright guys, so I figured out that I'm going to be using a fence. And I think with this fence, it looks pretty good. But can we add anything else to decorate it? I think it's fine by itself. So yeah, we used a fence to hang our lantern to make our entranceway even more fancy than how it was before. So I think our house looks pretty good right now for our starter house. Now the last thing I'm going to add before we end this video is some more space in the front of our house and pathway that connects the front of our house to the village. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so I finished expanding our cliff here. Now it's time to connect our house to the village roads. So with our shovel, let's go ahead and click on these grass blocks and make them into pathway blocks. Alright guys, so I finished building the path connecting our house to the village roads on the left side. So now let's build the right side. So that mob gave us Phantom Membrane. So I assume that mob is called a Phantom. Anyway, so now that hindrance has been dealt with, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the path connecting our house to the village. On the left, we have a little pathway that leads to the potato farm and the rest of the village. Similarly, on the right side, we have this little staircase leading to the wheat farm and the rest of the village. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Minecraft Floating Islands. If you liked, please hit that like button, and if you want to watch more, hit that subscribe button as well. Until next time, I'll see all of you later.